Hello people, it's Bal Gaming, and today we're going to have a talk about the newest event to Call of Dragons, the Greatest Height event. This event is a standard power-up event with some special twists. It has a really incredible reward only for the top 10 players who place in the event, called a legendary city skin. So you can see this one's called the Eye of the Stars. It's a legendary city skin, and it provides 10% magic attack at the cost of -5% infantry defense and -5% marksman unit defense. You can see that there is a permanent version of the skin as well as 15-day and 30-day versions of the skin, which when you start tick down, and once they expire you can no longer have this skin. This skin is only obtainable through the newest event called the Great Heights event. As you can see right here, we're in the last 12 hours of the event. This event is a 3-day event. I'll show you on the calendar. So you can see on the calendar, here it is here. So it began over here on the Sunday the 10th, and now it's going to finish on Tuesday the 3rd, 3-day event. This is a very similar event to the Zenith of Power event, which was in Rise of Kingdoms, and it is basically, as I said, a power-up event. So the rewards, which I can show right now, Rank 1, Rank 2, Rank 3, and Rank 4 to 10 all get the permanent version of the skin, which provides 10% magic attack. Obviously, you get a different amount of gems, so 5k gems for the Rank 1, 3k gems for Rank 2, etc, etc. From ranks 11 all the way to rank 50, you get a 30-day version of the skin, and rank 51 to rank 100 gets a 15-day version of the skin, which does expire once you start it. So that's what the event is, that's what the reward is. So let's talk about a little bit about who's actually able to win these events. So as you can see, the top player currently in our event is Catzilla from our alliance with a power up of 28 million points. This is a lot of points. Pure one-to-one power to point ratio, like a normal power-up event, means that you either have to train a lot of troops or you have to do a combination of research and building as well as training to power up as much as you can. So in terms of who's able to win these events, the obvious first category is T5 players who are whales or krakens who spend a lot in the game. So players who, are max purchasing bundles like these, like the the March of Conquerors. There's also obviously the Blizzard Journey season bundles and the Roots of War bundles who have a lot of training speed ups and gems saved. They're able to basically just train a lot of T5 troops or upgrade T4 to T5 and thus place very highly. So that player is Prayuth, who's our resident very, very powerful T5 player who's able to push that all with troops. So that's the first category, T5 whales and krakens who spend a lot. Second category is T4 players who are able to push a lot of power in building and research as well as training. Now this is because building and training provides much more power per speed up as opposed to purely training. So you can see, for example, if you go into my research, I'm nowhere near T5 yet. Looking at the upgrade, for example, from first aid, looking at it going from 9 to 10, you get a cool 1 million power just from that upgrade. So if you're able to sit at a low power, say 25 to 30 mil, and push all your T5 research to the end right here, or even unlocking 1 or 2 or even 3 or 4, you end up getting 20, 30 million power at a much reduced cost. And obviously upgrading buildings as well provide a good amount of power. You can see here, there's a good upgrade there. These minor refineries provide a good amount of power. From level 24 to 25 is around 250k power. So doing all the buildings, doing all the research to T5, plus training or upgrading troops gives you a lot of power. So a mid spender or a high spender T4 player going to T5 is likely to win the event. So you see in this event, Panda's Mage, Conflict, I believe. There's a few other players who may have also pushed T5. I know Leandra pushed T5 as well. So, these are players who were T4 and now are T5 and use that push to give them a lot of power. The third category, which is very unlikely but still somewhat possible, is a low spender going from T4 to T5 in a similar way, but saving up for, say, 6 to 12 months or potentially even longer. Saving up every speed up you have, every gem you have, and then going for the event. That's also possible, but very difficult. So the question is it worth it? Is this reward, this 10% mage attack skin, actually worth it for the amount of investment you put in? Now, for a whale who wants to collect everything, who spent a lot, obviously it's worth it. For a mage player playing 3 to 4 mage marches, say 3 mage marches and 2 archer marches, the 10% mage attack is quite good. But you have to keep in mind that it does reduce your attack and your defense, which are two very important stats for the infantry defense and marksman unit attack. So do keep that in mind if you're running, not too many mage marches. This might not be the skin for you. Now, secondly, if you're not a whale or a kraken, putting 20 to 30 million power into one event may not be the most efficient use of your speed ups. You might be able to win a few of the gold token events. You might be able to win a few of the strongest lord events. So think very carefully if you're in the right stage to actually win and invest that much gems and speed ups into a single event, or you might be able to split it up into different events to get a lot more rewards. So going on to our rankings, I'll just run that through as the last part of this video. You can see our top ranking is 28 million. The rank 10 is currently 15 million. Now, on our very last day, which is today, and our last 12 hours, we can expect, rank 10 to 15 to push, or even other players who are not yet in this list to somehow push. So this ranking boards might very well change in the last few hours. Now, the last few hours can be very stressful. And I'll leave you all with one key tip that's really important to know when you're thinking about pushing troops for this event, and that's the efficiency of T4 to T5 power conversion as opposed to just training pure T5 troops. So, if you just train T5 troops, the speed up cost of doing it is quite expensive. However, converting T4 to T5 uses much less speed ups. I think it's 20 to 30% less speed ups for a similar amount of points. So if you're able to save up a lot of T4 troops, say you're a T4 player becoming T5, by converting all your T4 to T5, you're very likely to be able to push a much more power more efficiently than a whale who's just trying to push T5 troops. So all in all, I'll update you guys on the end result screen when we get the rankings. And I wish everyone playing this current Great Heights all the best. And I might also put up some screenshots of our resident T4 to T5 pusher, Pandas Mage, who I think spent around 1.5 or even more million gems to push his T5 and managed to keep quite a lot of speed ups for future events. So I might pop some screenshots to show what the kind of push is required to be able to win this kind of event. Keeping in mind that if you use speed ups and not just gems, it is a bit more efficient. So anyway, all the best for these players, and we'll see you guys with the updates in about 12 hours. Peace out.
He means the other servers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would 100% message the 11th place guy and be like, oh, GG's, man.
Good luck, man.
I can